Yo, what is going on, mi gente? Today we are jumping back into our tech house track from scratch, and today we're going to be focused on the basses. So hopefully by the end of this video, you guys can learn how to build a dope bass groove and not overthink these things. So let's go. All right, so we're going to jump back into where we left off. And so we had the drums all scattered here, respectively. I'm going to consolidate this, open up a new MIDI track. And so we're going to go Serum 2, already highlighted here. Highlight that guy. And so I don't know why this is highlighted red. Let me delete that. So something that I like to emphasize is that when you guys are cooking a beat, you want to always make sure that you're cooking with the right sounds. So if you're making a reggaeton beat, you obviously want to have sample packs that are niche to reggaeton. If you're making tech house, you obviously want sample packs that are niche towards tech house. I wouldn't want to make reggaeton with tech house samples or vice versa. It would make my life extremely miserable and I wouldn't have a good time whatsoever. So obviously having the right sample packs and the right recipes matters so much. So we're going to keep everything in the same ecosystem with the Disco Candy sample pack. We're going to open up a Serum 2 that's in here, and we're going to go inside of the Evo Sounds, Disco Candy, and I'm going to go for the first bass preset that I have here. I'm not going to even play anything right now because what I want to show you guys is, obviously, we've been keeping everything in the same sample pack. I want to go back to where we were at. So as you guys can see here with the Disco Candy, you got bass loops. You have a lot of these audio loops. Dope grooves, really great bass melodies that really, again, centralize around that new tech house sound. And so something that I would like to teach you guys, and Evo Sounds already kind of did this for you guys in the sample pack, is that if you bring over a bass loop like this into an audio channel, zoom in, and just listen to this. Bum 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 bum. Right? Kind of the idea that we have here. And so what you would want to do with this is obviously its own design, its own sound, but you could copy the same melody with this bass loop. And so this one's called, I think, New Age. We'll look, I think, New Age right here, key of D minor. So I'm going to flip this into here. And so obviously this replicates the same bass melody or bass notes that are on top of here. So I'll mute this, lower the volume on this, load up the sounds that we had with Serum 2. And again, I hadn't heard anything, just the first bass preset that I have here. And so obviously it sounds completely different than what we had with the New Age one. I mean, it's much more darker. I don't really get that upper tone with this bass that I have here. So let's just kind of scroll through some of these sounds. As you notice, guys, I'm just scrolling through these. So if you guys have noticed, I'm just scrolling through a lot of these macro presets. Something that I like to do is when I have a new sound bank, I like to scroll through these sounds and just touch all over these macro knobs and see what they do. You get different textures, especially with usually the first two are like the most important ones that you're cut off, something with like OTT or compressor that's really pushing the sound, maybe a decay as well to wash out the sound as well. So I'm going to try to pick something that kind of screams at me here. So something that I like as well that's working with these MIDI. So say I built this bass from scratch. I copied it just like I did here. And I'm going to delete this. And this is what we had originally. That was in the key of D minor, I believe, right? So now what you can do, and you can obviously do this with your audio as well too, just transposing. But you can change the key of where you're at. And so this one was D minor. Let's go to either F or G. That's kind of what I feel like would be a nice vibe for this. It hits really good in the sub. So let's go down. I like it already. Let me go to F2. It might be a little low. All right, so I kind of like F2. We're sitting right at that range right there. So really cool trick already that we've learned. We transposed the MIDI already down a couple registers to F, where it was already originally at D. And so doing that, which was great, because if you do that with the bass loop that's in there, once you start transposing audio loops that's printed out, it kind of gets a little artifacty, and you don't really want to start messing with that. You'd rather just do that in the box. And so already with your source sound that you have with your bass preset, you know, you're cooking already. We have no mixing, no EQ, and nothing. I'm just leveling here, very simple leveling, and it already sounds fat, juicy, all those fun adjectives that, you know, producers like to throw at you. So let's keep this bass 1 where I'm at and see where you know, where we're at as far as this. I want to add, very important here. So be careful every single time you guys add a MIDI here. It's gonna put the BPM of where it was originally at. So with this one, I want to keep this at 132. Delete that. And so I want to give this a good old side chain with this. So I'm just going to throw a kickstart on this. Have this routed to the kick. Oop, not drum group. Definitely not the drum group. And you're going to see the signal already coming through here. So what I'm looking for here is that I want this side chain to kind of duck and have this volume ducking right where that transient, that kick is, and coming right back when it's done. So the length of your kick is just so important. Length of your kick is so important when it comes to this, because this is what you want to obviously shape and mold to your side chain. And so this is with, without. A massive difference, massive difference already with the groove that we have. So let's keep that there. And so I like the sub that we have with this. I'm not going to layer this at the moment with another bass or do anything crazy like that. I kind of want to see, yeah, nice sub. And then we'll just mess with the cutoff to get that higher. All right, and so that's a pretty good groove already that we have with the bass. So not too bad, not too bad. So before we wrap up this bass groove really quick, I want to just do the quick tech house, quick scapegoat getaway bass shot that they do. You hear this everywhere. And so a quick trick, guys, is if you take that first note, duplicate if you want. I'm just gonna open up a new serum. I'll lower this down here. We'll take the serum, put this down, and so we'll have this hitting on one note. And so you could do a bass shot. I'm gonna see if that works maybe better of doing this. All right, so what I want to do, so one other thing I want to add to this bass here, you hear a lot in tech house, and it's been going on for a while, to be honest, even before tech house, is that first bass shot that you want to kind of sub out, right? And so this obviously hits on key of D. You want to keep that in the same root. But what I want to do is I'm keeping an audio. I'm not bringing this to Serum or opening up any MIDI. So I want to just do bass shot. See if we have any shots inside of Disco Candy. Right. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. A wub, something like that that's got a little bit of an attack to it maybe. So this is the F. So I have to be careful with this one because I've got to line this just right. There we go, just like that. And so it's in the key of D. You want to make sure I'm in that, right? F, go down, E, D sharp, D. And so let's see what we have here. Not liking that whatsoever. And let's get something just with a shot. I thought the wub would have worked, but nah. Let me see if I put it a little bit more up. Oops. Let me take that out. That would help tremendously. Yeah, not really fucking with that whatsoever. So let me try a bass shot, like actual shot. Yeah, this could be what we're looking for here. And so let's shorten the length. So we could do like one note and then it comes in here. So let's see, rather than having it, so wow, and let's make sure we hit it in the right note. So I like that one. Sometimes I'll kind of like A and B another shot to see if I like it a little better. Maybe this one, maybe. If not, I was digging maybe some of these profit bases too. So let me mute this one, put this to our key that we have. Not really feeling. I doesn't have too much of a body after that transient hit. So let me try one of these profit bases. If not, we'll go back to what we had originally. Ooh, that might work if we tune it. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit too, yeah, but we might keep it. Let me see. So what I'll do here is I'm going to make a bass shot group. And then I'll have a bass and bass shot, consolidate all that and call those basses or just bass group. Same thing, guys. Assign track colors to everything, so it's all the same. So I'm going to use that first one that we had here. I like this one the most. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a side chain to this one too. Big difference. I want to automate just the cutoff just a little bit here at the end. So I'm going to do a starting point here, another little end point. I have that slope up just a little bit here. Hey, yeah. All right, hello guys. So this is how you get a nice little bass groove. All right, so let me rename this number 1. So bass shot 1, bass shot 2. Oh, not 12, not 12. I don't need 12 of them, just 2. And so again, we might come back to this one later, maybe in the part C or a bridge or something like that, where we'll use that other bass shot to kind of give a little bit more of a variation. But I like this already. Hey. All right, dope. I think once we get a vocal in, starting some more of these grooves, it's going to sound super, super sick. So see you guys in the next one.